A very good afternoon, students. So today we will start Act 5 Scene 1, Merchant of Venice, line 1. And here Lorenzo is the speaker. Lorenzo and Jessica, they are spending their beautiful honeymoon in the palace of Portia in Belmont. They are sitting by the side of a river. The whole landscape is being inundated with soothing moonlight. Everywhere you look, there is picturesque moonlit night scene, and this newly married couple, they are sitting by the side of a river and they are admiring the beauty of the nature that is being flooded with moonlight. So Lorenzo is telling that the moon shines bright in such a night as this, means the night like today probably. There was the same night once, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, the way the wind is rustling through the leaves, so beautifully it is done, and so softly the wind, the breeze, the soft breeze is rustling through the leaf, is ruffling through the leaves, I should say, and there is beautiful rustling sound there, and it is compared as if the wind is gently kissing those leaves, and those leaves are enjoying such a beautiful, such a gentle kiss without making a single sound, because everywhere, the night, the place where Jessica and Lorenzo are situated, they are sitting, there is absolute silence. So, and they did make no noise. In such a night, Troilus, methinks, mounted the Trojan walls and sighed his soul toward the Grecian tents where Cressida lay that night. So this whole scene is replete with the mentions, with the references of some Greek mythology. And here, the first mythological reference we come across in this scene, it is Troilus and Cressida. They were lovers, and they were greatly known, famous, for being such a beautiful and such a committed lovers. So now what happened after the siege of Troy? The Grecian army, this Greek army, they took the Trojans as their prisoner. They imprisoned them. They were confined, and unfortunately, this Cressida, she was also taken by those Greek armies. She was taken as a prisoner of in the tents of the Greek army that were there outside the wall of the Troy, the famous wall of the Troy, and she was staying there as their prisoner. And in such a night, such a beautiful, lovely night, whenever Troilus remembered his memories, his sweet memories, those sweet times, sweet hours that he spent with his beloved. Right at that time, probably, he might have climbed the walls of Troy in order to have a peep into the tents of the Greek armies, so that he could have a glance of Cressida, his beloved. Probably, there was such a night when Troilus might have done it. That's what Lorenzo is telling. And probably the night when Troilus did it, it was the same. It was exactly a beautiful night, just like today, just like tonight. It was equally beautiful that night, that evening. And the beauty of the nature actually aroused the love, aroused the memory of Cressida. And Troilus had to climb the walls in order to see, in order to take a chance to have a glance of his dear beloved who was confined in the camps of the Greeks. Right then, Jessica is also replying it with another mythology, that is Thisbe and Pyramus. So what happened there, let me tell. One day, Thisbe and Pyramus, they were also lovers, but their families, they were hostile towards each other. and they forbid them to meet. But no one can just deter a willing heart to do something that that particular heart wishes to do. So they set up an appointment, and they set up that appointment in the woods in a moonlit night. It was the middle of the night, and in the middle of the wood they were supposed to meet there. And what happened, once Thisbe reached there, he saw a lion, and the lion, she saw actually the lion's shadow, so knew that there was a lion, and fled, being afraid that the lion might have eaten her. After some time, when Pyramus reached there, he saw that no one is there, and only, sorry, I am wrong, one thing, yes, Thisbe left the place. And later when he came back, he saw that his beloved cloth, his beloved cloak was lying there on the floor, on the ground. And he might have thought that, oh my God, in my absence my beloved might have reached there, and that lion might have eaten my beloved alive. So why should I live in this earth if my beloved has been killed so brutally? So I have no purpose on earth, and I should leave the earth and join my beloved. So he committed suicide. And later when Pyramus also saw the dead body, he did the same thing. So both of them committed suicide out of a misunderstanding. But that was due to the fact that they were in deep love with each other. They could not bear, they could not tolerate the death of another. They were just like lovebirds. One died and another also died out of heartbreak. And the same thing happened there. So it is written, the same thing is written there, that probably in such a moonlit night, Thisbe fearfully overthrew the dew. Very secretly, clandestinely, with fear in heart that someone might have discovered that they are meeting secretly, Thisbe was coming, was trading, was stepping towards the middle of the jungle, middle of the woods, and saw the lion's shadow means before himself, and ran dismayed away. So he ran back, that, oh my God, the place where we were supposed to meet, there is a lion sitting there. How am I supposed to stay there? So he left the place. Later his beloved reached there. She also left the place, but while she left, a piece of her cloak was lying on the ground. Once Thisbe came back, saw the same cloak, and recognized that this belongs to his beloved, and thought that the lion might have eaten her, committed suicide. Later Pyramus also came back and saw his lover lying dead. She also committed suicide. So Lorenzo is telling that in such a night stood Dido with a willow in her hand upon the wild sea banks, and wafted her love to come again to Carthage. Another mythological reference, that is Dido and Aeneas. Aeneas has a spectacular journey. God in Aeneas' dream commanded him to search for a chosen land where he will found his kingdom. So Aeneas was traveling from one place to another, from one part of the world to another part, and while doing so he reached Carthage and met Dido. Dido was a widow, and they fell in love with each other. They were spending their time happily there, living with Dido. Both of them were content with life, but one such night God again visited Aeneas in his dream and reminded him of his vow that you were supposed to find the suitable place, that chosen place to found your kingdom. He founded the kingdom of Rome. So you resume your journey instead of staying there, wasting your time here with Dido. So in the next morning, when Dido woke up and she could not find she could not find her lover Aeneas, and that was the last time he saw Aeneas. And from then on, she could not find Aeneas anymore in her life. So probably in such a night when Dido used to remember his sweet memories with Aeneas, she might have roamed about by the side of the sea with a willow in her hand. Willow means a piece of branch from willow tree. That kind of usage is called metonymy, remember it. Because by saying willow, you are actually trying to mean a branch of a willow. In order to show Aeneas that here I am, you follow this branch and you come here. She was expecting Aeneas to return. She kept on doing that till her last breath, but she could not find him, probably. So, the way I am lovelorn, the way I am feeling so much love for you, Jessica, I, Lorenzo, am feeling so much love for you, Jessica. That was the same way, probably, Dido might have felt for Aeneas. Thebes might have felt for Pyramus. And also, Troilus might have felt for Cressida. It is the same way which I am feeling now. They might have felt the same thing. That's what they are discussing actually. So Jessica is telling that in such a night, Medea, another mythological character, Medea, gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew old Aeson. So Aeson was Medea's father-in-law, and she promised him that I would rejuvenate your youth. In order to do so, she used to find some magical herbs, and especially herbs were believed to have magical powers if they are plucked in moonlit night. So the light of the moon and that particular environment was said to have some magical powers, not only to arouse love in the heart of a lover, but also to instill magical power in some herbs. So those herbs, Medea used to search, find, grind, and make a potion and serve it to Aeson, her father-in-law. That rejuvenated his youth. Probably there was such a moonlit night, such a beautiful, fantastic, hypnotizing night, just like tonight. That's what they are telling. That tonight, the thing we are enjoying, we are devouring and we are experiencing, these mythological characters might have experienced the same thing when they did their own deeds, own jobs. That's what the main subject matter here. Now Lorenzo is understanding that I cannot outwit Jessica. She has a great stock of the mythological characters, mythological stories. So let prick her in a jovial manner, I should say. Let's prick her in a jovial manner. Let's annoy her. Okay. So with this purpose in mind, Lorenzo is reminding Jessica of the deed which she had done, and that is in such a night, there was such a beautiful moonlit night when did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew. Jessica stole all the wealth, the hard-earned wealth of her father who was a Jew. That is our Shylock. From his chest he stole all the ducats, single and double ducats. And then with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont. With an unthrift love, like Lorenzo was a kind of person right at that time. He was penniless. And after stealing all these things, Jessica ran with a penniless Christian like me, unthrift love. Like Lorenzo, with me you left Venice and you reached here as far as Belmont. That was the same night when we had done it. And especially you, Jessica, you stole from your father's chest and you ran with a penniless Christian. That's what Lorenzo is reminding Jessica, as if he is trying to ashame her. Now Jessica is not such a person, not such a woman to be dominated. She is a very forward woman. And all the characters, all the women characters in Shakespeare's play, they have a very key role to play in the whole drama, whether it is Jessica or Portia or Nerissa, whether it is Lady Macbeth, whether it is the youngest daughter of King Lear, whether it is Desdemona, whoever it is in Othello. So all these female characters, they are very strong characters. They have a very firm role to play in the whole story of the drama. And here these female characters, they are no such exception to it, because after all, no man could not save Bassanio and Antonio. It was again Portia and Nerissa, especially Portia, who had to put on the shoes of these men and come forward, reach the court of Venice, outwit Shylock in the court, and save Antonio and Bassanio from his clutches. That's why they are given the male attire I told you earlier. So these women characters, they are very strong. They have a very crucial part to play in this drama. In all Shakespearean drama, they are replete with some strong female characters. Here, this is also just like that. So Jessica is again replying it by saying that in such a night, I might have done something over which I should be ashamed of. But you, Lorenzo, you remember one more thing, that, what is it? Let's read. That in such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul with many vows of faith, and never a true one. So now Jessica is reminding Lorenzo that, okay, you are telling me that I have plundered my father's wealth and I had eloped with a penniless Christian. Yes, that is shameful, but you remember one thing, you were such a Christian who made so many vows before you had eloped with your wife. Until now, you could not fulfill a single vow. So you are a person who cannot fulfill your promise. So you remember this too, that I might have plundered wealth, and at the same time you failed to fulfill the vows you have made before you had eloped, and before you had beguiled a woman to elope with you after stealing the wealth from her father's chest. So you prompted me, you tempted me to do it, and I had to do it because I was so carried away by your vows. And these are the vows which you failed to fulfill. So you should remember all these things also, like that, like the fact that I had eloped with you after plundering the wealth from my father's chest. So both of them are having such a big, beautiful and naughty quarrel. They are spending their beautiful honeymoon in the beautiful palace at Belmont, and they could probably didn't imagine, it was their faintest imagination, that they would be spending their honeymoon in such a beautiful palace, being actually the master of the palace. Though it is for some particular time, but still they are now the master and mistress of the palace in absence of Portia and Bassanio. So this is the thing that they could best think, they could best dream, and that dream has come true for them, and they are enjoying every bit of their moment very, very cautiously. So that's how the thing is going on in this drama. Later we will read, and after this conversation actually, there will be another person, especially Stefano will reach there, and then also Lancelot will reach there, and from here on things will turn into something comical from being romantic. So later in our next video we will discuss it. We will discuss the fact how the comical situations multiplies, how these women characters, they have a hold on the main characters, and at last how the thing ends in an amicable way, in a very friendly way. So till then, that's all for today, students. Let's call it a day. We will meet again. Thank you very much.